Hi everybody, Michelle here from Thrifting 101 and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. I'm glad you stopped by. Today, as promised, I'm doing part 2 of the May Day thrift haul and I hope you enjoy it. Everything you see on this table I did get for half price. Everything under $100 was half price. And I picked up this beautiful mid-century Whitehall Colony Cubist glass 1964 pitcher and 3 tumblers to go with it. The pattern is simply called Gold, like I said, in the Cubist pattern. And I have tons and tons of the tumblers in all different sizes at home. So I'll probably put a set together and probably put it on eBay. Probably sell it for about $25 to $50, depending on how many tumblers I decide to sell with it. These are Anchor Hocking 1960s Great Harvest pattern vase and a matching cup. I actually got the cup for nothing. She threw it in, and I think I paid $5 for the vase. And I was surprised to see that they go on eBay for about $25. And any haul of mine would not be complete without some Fire King milk glass. And I love this bowl. It's in great condition, though it is missing the top. It's called the Hospitality. It's a hospitality pattern, and they made it back in 1976. And I looked around on eBay, and I saw people selling them with a lid. Be careful if you're interested in that pattern. People were selling it with a clear lid. It did not come with a clear lid. It came with an amber lid. And I got that for $2.50, so I was pretty pleased. This is a cool little Federal Glass Company cocktail shaker, and the colors are great. They made them in all different designs and colors. This actually is one of my favorites. I do have a bunch of them. I kind of am a creature of habit, and I find them a lot, so I do pick them up. And it even came with the shaker top. That's the first shaker top I have. And I'm thinking about putting them all together and selling them as a lot. It might be fun. I have about 4 or 5 of them in different patterns, and they are mid-century. I picked up 2 of these for $1, and I picked them up because I had one at home. I've had it forever. They're very, very delicate. I know they're old. I haven't done any research on them. They're optic iridescent. So I think I will do some research on them, and I will let you know what they are and what they're worth. These pretty little cordials were made by the Indiana company, and the pattern is called Early American in the amber. They made them in other colors too. And each one sells for about $5.99 on replacements.com. And I'll probably sell them off as a set for $25 to $30. I'll have to see what other people are asking. I picked this tray up. It's a divided tray. I think it's a dresser tray. I've never seen one before. I had a lot of trouble researching it, but it is a cranberry ruby flash, and I love the pattern. To me, it looked very Art Deco, and I like Art Deco. This adorable little trinket box, actually it's called a powder box. It's not marked. It's an Amber Carnival marigold, and it was made by the Jeanette Company, and I think this piece dates back to the late 50s, early 60s. It has a really cool Scotty dog on top. They made them with poodles and other kind of dogs, and they actually started making them way earlier in the 20s in a clear glass, and I think the first animal they might have had on it was a pig, but I'm not really sure. But I picked this up for $1.50, and I'll probably list it for about $15 to $20. These are 2 Melamine vintage batter bowls, and they do have a rubber seal on the bottom, so they're kind of spill proof and slip proof. And they're really cool. Dansk made a set like these, but these are not marked. so I don't know who made them, but I love the color. That's what drew me to them at first. And I looked them up on eBay. I couldn't find them in this color, but somebody did sell the exact same set, a set of 3, for $30. I was so excited to find this lot of Anchor Hocking 1960 glasses. Most of them are roly-poly. There are 2 flat ones. She sold the set to me for $12. I do have some of the do-si-dos at home, but these are the Gay 90s, and I didn't have any of the Gay 90s in the green. And they're really cool glasses. They're actually called Swanky Swigs, which is what they called glasses that had characters on them before they actually made character glasses. And they sell for about 10 bucks a piece. This was another yay piece for me. As you can imagine, it was sitting right next to the Pink Daisy piece that I also got. I picked up this one for $12, and it's in pretty good condition. I did some research on it. It was made between 1956 and 1967, pretty much the same years as the Pink Daisy ones I showed you in the last video. And I did find out on the Pyrex homepage that they advertised this as a multi-purpose lid. They said you could use it as another divided dish, and they also said you could use it as a trivet tray. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought I'd pass that on to you. And another thing that I found pretty interesting about Pyrex that I meant to tell you the other day is that Pyrex actually comes from the Latin pi meaning fire and rex meaning king. Fire King. But it's not. This piece was imported from China. As you can see, it still has a label from the Arnault company. And I don't usually buy things like this. It's a 1940s, I guess a lady's, whoops. I guess a lady's dresser trinket box. And there are no chips. It's really, really pretty. I paid about $10 for it. They're not worth a whole lot more than that. But I just thought it was really, really delicate and feminine. I was so happy to find this 1948 Pink Elephant Hazel Atlas whiskey glass, and you can see why it's called Pink Elephants. They're very hard to find. I was able to pick this up for $2.50, and I could probably sell it for about $20, $25. Every piece you see here I save for last. They're all Hazel Atlas, and Hazel Atlas is one of my favorites. So I'm going to start with the least piece here. You can see it has the Hazel Atlas logo. And it's a really cool frosted shot glass. It's actually a big shot glass, a 4-ounce. And it's from the Grand Canyon. And I picked it up for 50 cents. And when I did some research, there's one currently under bid on eBay for $6. So I'll have to see where that one goes, and then I'll list it. I love these sunny yellow flower pots. They're fired on, and they're made by the Continental Can Company. You can see the CCC on the bottom, which Hazel Atlas bought out in the 1950s. And they look like milk glass, but they're actually, Hazel Atlas called them ovite or platinite pieces, and they're mid-century. Although these salt and pepper shakers, which I picked up for $1 for the set, do not have the HA, Hazel Atlas logo on them, I do believe them to be Hazel Atlas from the 1930s and 40s. They're a fired-on glass, and the pattern is called Torpedo. This is a 1970s Fenton milk glass piece, and you can see it is artist signed by D. Mullins. It's a candy dish, and actually the pattern is called Apple Blossom, even though they're covered with pretty little pansies. And I did notice when I was doing some research on it that if the label simply says Fenton without a number underneath it, it means it was from the 70s. That's when they changed the label. If you see an 8 under the Fenton, it's from the 80s. a 9 from the 90s, etc. So I thought that was pretty cool information that even I didn't know. So that was it, my 2-day May Day haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I spent the last few days listing most of that stuff on eBay, and I needed to get out of the house today. So of course I went to the thrift store, my favorite one, the Wood and Nickel store, and everything was half price. So I spent a lot of time there, bought lots of stuff. I've got 2 more great hauls coming up out of that store. So I'll see you real soon. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great weekend. I believe these to be Hazel Atlas, even though they do not have the HA on them, but they are numbered. And they're fired on salt and pepper shakers in the really? And these salt and pepper shakers are known to be called the torpedo pattern. Really, the torpedo pattern. I picked up the salt and pepper set for $1, and although they do not have the Hazel Atlas logo on them, I do believe them to be Hazel Atlas. They're numbered. This one is a 1, and that's an 8. And they are from the 30s and 40s, and they're fired on glass. And they're commonly referred to as the torpedo pattern.